From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
It's great to be live with you every day. Of course, it's great to be live with you this Sunday evening as well. And we were watching the final game that led to India winning the Thomas Cup. And what a moment it was! What a moment it was, ladies and gentlemen. Destroying Indonesia 3-0 is really, really big, and winning the Thomas Cup is huge. And it all signifies one thing I've been talking about for a long time, is that there has been a complete shift in Indian sport. Complete shift. Cricket, what it used to be and what it has become now. It is losing ground every day. Cricket is losing ground. The viewership on cricket is falling. People who put huge advertisements in cricket are now regretting it. In fact, this year's Premier League, IPL, has been a washout, an absolute unmitigated viewership disaster. The IPL viewership has totally crashed by a massive 35%, which means people are just quitting watching cricket. It means 1 in every 3 cricket viewers is no longer watching cricket, no longer watching the IPL. They are hashtag, ladies and gentlemen, hashtag for tonight. They are hashtag bored with cricket. And that's my hashtag tonight, bored with cricket. Too much cricket makes no sense to them. And then in this context is the historic victory of our badminton superstars today. They've been smashing their way, dominating their way, jumping their way, and oh yes, smashing their way to the Thomas Cup victory. The Thomas Cup, ladies and gentlemen, the Thomas Cup, the very top of the league in international badminton, the World Men's Championships. And there in the intensity of the global court, our badminton heroes just outsmarted the Indonesians and destroyed the 14-time world champions with pure hunger and pure passion. Pure hunger and pure passion. Ladies and gentlemen, these two words, hunger and passion. It is these two words that matter the most in everything in life. Any game you play, any job you do. Intensity and passion. And cricket and cricketers, Indian cricketers, are not hungry and not passionate. Especially not in this IPL format. Cricket has become essentially commercial. But for all the hundreds and thousands of crores in marketing, hype, endorsements, thousands of crores in TV deals, could it save the IPL? No. The cricket fanatics can cry their heart out, but India has changed. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, that India is hashtag bored with cricket. Bored with cricket. Cricket is not authentic anymore. This crazy, unthought commercialization has ensured that teams don't have any loyalty, and neither does the sport. They just play for the sake of it. And they're all looking fatigued and jaded and forced. All the cricket stars are looking faded, fatigued, frustrated. And the cricketers actually have lost interest in the game. Their principal driving instinct only is money. And I must say this, some of them, ladies and gentlemen, when they can't perform on the field because they spend all their time in PR-driven Instagram accounts promoting this movie, this thing, that thing. 50% or more of their time goes in all this, not their game. And of course it shows in their game. And people have lost interest. Fact is, ladies and gentlemen, these kind of commercialized cricketers don't even compare to the international Olympic superstars from India, or like Kidambi Shrikant or Chirag Shetty. And I will keep saying it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep saying it. We are bored with cricket. Enough of cricket. Colonial sport. nothing but a hangover, leftover of the British Raj. Very few countries in the world play it. We are fooling ourselves by calling it world this tournament and world that tournament. Fact of the matter is, only countries which had been ruled at one point of time by the British play the sport. What are we celebrating? And sometime I had angered some cricket fanatics when I told them the truth. And what did I say? I said, at the end of the day, what is cricket? And sports journalists don't like to hear this, but I'll tell them on their face. Cricket is a game that only ex-British colonies play. And more, these ex-British colonies are also realizing it's a colonial sport. There is nothing global about cricket. There is nothing international about cricket. But badminton is not colonial. There we beat China, we beat Denmark, Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan. That's a global achievement. So my advice to a country #bored with cricket, which doesn't know what to do because they are bored with cricket, is let's just move on. Cricket, thousands of crores, let those who have money spend it. Cricket is overhyped. Let us compete with the world, not just the last few remaining members of the Commonwealth, which in any case is dead or should have been dead a long time back. Ladies and gentlemen, bored with cricket is my first debate tonight, because India's future global superstars, like the ones who are bringing home the Thomas Cup, are not going to come out of a game that is played only by members of the ex-British Raj. Let's grow up. Let's grow up and not keep crying about being bored with cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, debate number 2 tonight. Owaisi is lying about Gyanvapi. I'm telling you, he's just lying about Gyanvapi. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to prove to you why Owaisi is lying about some mosque being destroyed. He's completely lying through his teeth, and I wonder how he does that. I'm exposing him at 9, and here are the headlines this Sunday evening on the debate tonight. 73 years down, India brings home Thomas Cup glory, creates absolute history. What a score to remember in a 3-0 final. India absolutely crushes 14-time champions Indonesia. India is #bored with cricket. How bored are we with cricket? Let's get to global sports now.
जा रहा था, मैं तो बाबरी गिरा रहा था, मैं तो मंदिर बना रहा था, तुझको मिर्ची लगी तो मैं क्या करूं?
Devendra Fadnavis launches an unsparing attack on the ruling regime at the Mahasankalp Sabha still going on in Mumbai. Mr. Owaisi, whether you like it or not, the survey shall be completed tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a silent story that's being written with every smash, every wrestling bout, every serve on the court. And it has nothing to do with cricket. Cricket is overhyped, fatigued, faded, over. India's Thomas Cup victory in Thailand is the emerging story of a new India that is seriously looking beyond cricket, which it is bored with. A nation, especially where the young people are slowly getting #bored with cricket. Here's the story of India's historic achievement in Thailand, and then we shall debate.
India created history by winning the Thomas Cup 3-0 and defeating 14-time champions Indonesia. These sporting superstars have brought India shuttling glory. 20-year-old Lakshya Sen, who glided across the badminton court to put India on the top.
Yeah, it was very thrill moment. I was so happy actually that the match was very crucial with Srikanth also, and within simultaneously Lakshya also. So, but later on, at the end, they won the match, and after Srikanth, so they make the history, they create the history. We are thrilled, we are so happy, sir.
Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty, who proved again why they are the top Indian doubles pairing. 29-year-old Kidambi Srikanth, who managed to win the silver in BWF World Championship in 2021 after a knee injury, persevered and brought home gold this time around. HS Pranoy was calm, collected and a complete professional as he broke the Danish jinx. These are the sporting heroes India is cheering for tonight.
Thank you so much.
भारतीय बैडमिंटन टीम ने आज इतिहास रचा है। 73 सालों में पहली बार थॉमस कप जीतकर एक ऐसा कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया है। मैं अपनी ओर से और सभी देशवासियों की ओर से सभी खिलाड़ियों को बहुत-बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
And it comes at a time when the IPL has completely and totally tanked. A drop of 33% in viewership of the IPL this year indicates India is bored with cricket. Cricket is not aspirational anymore. It's more drama, more controversy and less sport.
I was contacted 1.5 hours before the selection meeting on the 8th for the test series, and there was no prior communication with me at all since.
Now, it's time to admit India is bored with cricket.
What a fantastic debate we have going today. Meeranjan Negi, former goalkeeper of the Indian hockey team, Simon Sharif, former Indian shooter, while Murad Ali Khan, fantastic, Indian shooter, Arjuna awardee, Sajan Prakash, gold medalist at Tokyo Olympics, swimmer, Hemant Kenkre, cricket columnist, former cricketer, Rajinder Amarnath, former cricketer, Harpal Singh Bedi, very senior sports journalist, joining us in a bit. Bimal Soni looking very worried with everyone saying bored with cricket. It's a reality, Dr. Soni, you're going to have to live with it, It's going to happen someday. And Gaurav Sethi is founder of boardcricket.com. Does that have anything to do with bored with cricket, Gaurav?
So boardcricket.com is Board Cricket Crazy Indians, which is an acronym for BCCI, which started off as a bit of a joke at BCCI, but at the same time, it's very passionate. But what I would say, coming to your debate topic, which is very interesting, and I reflected on it, and the thought that I initially had was that India does have a love-hate relationship with cricket, which is, I think, catching a lot more fervor recently. And what I did also reflect on was the Arnab debate. That is the debate that we are part of, which I think India is very passionate, but at the same time, there is a love-hate relationship here also. And it is something which everyone tunes in, watches, but at the same time, there will be people who will question it. And that for me is a bit like cricket, no different really. But cricket is pretty much it, and that is something I think we've all come to accept. And at the same time, when there is a dip of 30%, and that is largely because it's 6 months since we had the last IPL. And that is just like having it the other day. That is way too recent, too much fatigue and too much repetition. So we are, in a way, shooting ourselves in the feet. And, they're looking for an even larger window now with the ICC. The BCCI has spoken to them and said, listen, we need to be playing the IPL for longer and just see what will happen. Yes, you will be even more bored with cricket.
Yeah, but the thing is that people are not interested anymore. And when we see a global sport like this, you see, Hemant, when we see badminton, and then we see that these are the real superstars because they are playing with countries across the world. I mean, at the end of the day, who plays cricket? Who plays cricket? Some 7-8 countries, max 8, 9 if you want to extend it. Countries which were part of the British Commonwealth, which is dead. People who said, long live the Queen. And we are not going to say that today, right? So we got attached because we got used to a little bit of domination in a game played by very few people. And we had a big market, so it could be commercialized. And all 1 billion Indians could be told, listen, you may not do well in other sport, but you're still going to do well in a sport. Maybe 8 people play it, but still you're a world champion among 8 countries. But Indians are not going to be fooled anymore, right? So Hemant, things are changing. I don't mean to run down cricket, but things have really changed. In a global India, things have changed.
Absolutely. I mean, let me be honest. I mean, cricket's played, the affiliate countries, associate countries, if you take a look at the entire population of cricket world, it's a different ballgame altogether. It's more than 100. But having said that, honestly, there is a huge amount of fatigue that has crept in thanks to back-to-back this tournament which is going on right now, which is the IPL. And for me and my generation, cricket is actually test cricket, and it's not really the kind of pajama cricket that we see today. It's good entertainment. It's a David Dhawan movie. It's have fun, maja karo, enjoy, have your popcorn and go home. I mean, that's not cricket for me, very honestly. And honestly, this victory today, the fantastic victory, and I would put it probably on the same level or even higher than the 1983 victory. Maybe we'll have another film coming up in a couple of years, 2002 too. So I think it's fantastic. It's a great advertisement for badminton and also for other sports. Having said that, I think the media should propagate other sports. If they do it, automatically the populace of India will, start following this.
In India, the problem has been, Hemant, anyone's a sports journalist wise to become a cricket journalist. That's where the glamour is. That's where the money is.
I completely agree.
That's where the contacts are. That's where the job is, and every reporter wants to be a BCCI reporter. Everyone wants to play cricket. Ask yourself how many sports journalists in India would love to only cover cricket. I know there are many with interest outside.
Well, to me, they're not journalists. I mean, to begin with,
I agree with you. And then we've had scams here where some journalists become racketeers and then they become front people for the board.
They're not journalists.
No, but what I'm saying is, are you realizing, Dr. Soni, that and look at the pictures today. Dr. Soni, pure passion. This spectacular bounce back and this Thomas Cup win. It comes in the backdrop of this superstar, Sirkant, winning the silver medal at the BWF World Championships in 21, PV Sindhu winning a bronze in Tokyo 2020, okay, and beating the Chinese, Indonesians, Japanese, Danish, Malaysians. It's spectacular. And what are we comparing it with? Some IPL? What is the BCCI doing? Why is the BCCI hinged itself to IPL and it's looking all like we are finished? If IPL collapses, IPL has collapsed. I'm telling you, there's no comeback. Mr. Soni, we see the writing on the wall. I'm telling you, viewership goes down 35%. You can put all the cheerleaders and you can make A.R. Rahman come there. You can make that, what's that fellow's name? Ranveer dance around a little. It's going to make no difference. Get all the film stars you want. Mr. Soni, that's your problem. Are you there? Mr. Soni, you've just been focusing on film stars and singers and pop musicians and God knows what, and digital deals, thousands of crores of deals, BCCI, color of the caps, color of your endorsements, value of your sub-endorsements. There's no cricket. It's business, Mr. Soni. There's no, let's admit it, allow me to complete. There is no purity in this sport anymore. And any sport that is impure is not a sport. IPL is not a sport. It's a bad spectacle in which people have lost interest. I don't know why you did it. You overdid it. You wanted to compete with what's that fellow's name? That Lalit Modi. You said Lalit Modi gone, we'll do 3 times Lalit Modi. We'll do 3 times the drama. But there's no cricket. There's no loyalty, there's no passion, there's no attachment, there's no sense of community. What have you done? What have you all done? And that's why today people are quitting cricket. Mr. Soni, I'm telling you, it's unstoppable. Please understand, you make movies on 1983, that was a different cricket. What you've done right now is an impure form of a sport. Just because the sports journalists, many of them are in your pocket and you can't talk about them. And they won't talk about you. So there's been this sort of, what would I say, a Stockholm syndrome among sports journalists. So you built up a little bit of a media drama also. But Mr. Soni, who's interested in cricket today? Who is? You tell me. You tell me one person interested in cricket. Yeah.
Pranav, can I speak now?
Yeah, please speak.
I have one thing to say. You are speaking on the wrong day. First of all, we are proud of what Thomas Cup we have won. We are proud of our badminton stars. Today, the main attraction of sports-loving people is badminton. But IPL will remain what it is.
Oh, Baba.
Except that board has done it in within 6 months. Second IPL, they have overdone it. That's why people are not at the moment looking at it.
No, you are fooling yourself. No, sir.
We used to win hockey.
No.
Everybody used to go.
You think you can build a sport with money?
And that is the time.
No.
Cricket has slowed down because we have won Thomas Cup. We have got other interests, but cricket is not dying.
Okay,
We have
I'll tell you.
overdone
I'll
it.
tell you. I'll
We
tell
have
you.
done it in 6
I'll
months.
tell you. Okay,
I agree.
here's one question. Here's one question. Here's one question. Listen to me. Listen to me, okay? Here's one question. Please hear me on this. I want Mr. Negi and Murad in on this, okay? I am not a sports journalist, by the way, but I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. I have done my master's in sociology and social anthropology and social psychology and social behavior. I'll tell you one thing. I'm telling you one thing, Mr. Soni, when people play and when people watch, the person playing must know what he's playing for and the person watching must know what they are watching for. I'm asking you, Mr. Soni, straight to you. When a person plays IPL, what is he playing for? What is he playing for? Please tell me, who is he playing for?
Arnab, can I come in here?
Yeah, I just want Mr. Soni to come in and Murad after that all the time to you. Who is he playing for? Tell me.
IPL has been overdone now.
It is overdone.
We've had a second IPL, but at the same time, cricketers play IPL because they love the game, they get money from it.
Money. No, there's money. Fantastic, thank you, you picked up. The second word you said was money. Thank you for your honesty tonight. And I want Murad and Murad to come. No, I'm not anti-cricket. I'm telling you, overdone it.
Yeah.
I want Murad and Mir. I want these two legends to come in, Murad and Mir. Murad.
Arnab, the first thing I would like to say, please, there is no comparison between the achievement today that these boys have done at Thomas Cup with IPL. I don't think we should discuss both these in the same breath and keep it away. You know, there is the motivation for any sports person, the biggest motivation for any sports person when he competes is the flag. When he competes for the country is the flag. The joy of getting the national anthem played in a foreign land.
Oh yeah.
You know, that is the joy when a person competes with. That joy you cannot get in any other thing. Now, there is no comparison between what these boys have achieved today and and the IPL. The biggest factor, what you mentioned and even your anchor mentioned, there is a drop in viewership in IPL to about 35%. I don't know the exact figures. But if that drop of 35%, if that money gets shifted to other sports, I think India will become a superpower as far as sports is concerned. But there is lack of funding. We are a developing nation and sports doesn't get the kind of priority that it should get. And whatever money comes in goes into cricket. The sponsors are all putting it into cricket. I don't know why they are putting it.
I don't know why.
There, because we are winning in every sport that the people go and perform. And we have got world number ones in many sports, but poor things, they don't get the funding.
But Murad, I tell you one thing. Murad, I'll tell you one thing. Murad, I'll tell you one thing. I'll bring in Harpal also into the debate, you know. See, I'll tell you one thing. Harpal, Murad said 35% drop. I'm not comparing IPL with Thomas Cup at all. I believe they cannot be compared at all. But I know, I'm sitting in a newsroom, Murad, I'm sitting in a newsroom and I know the excitement across India, Rajinder Ji, today about Thomas Cup. And I could see, you know, the Prime Minister called the team, by the way, you know, and I think this is a beautiful gesture, you know, when the Prime Minister called the team, and there's this picture, can I just put it on the screen? Prime Minister of India is calling the entire team, and he's congratulating them. And listen, let's look beyond politics. I want to play that picture out there. I think this is so fabulous. So fabulous. Between all the things the Prime Minister must be doing today, Mr. Negi, between all the things he's doing today, he was busy calling the team, and he was also lauding the coaches. And he said where India didn't reach previously. Just look at the smile on their faces holding that phone. and then he finds an Almora connect with Lakshya Sen. The team, just the recognition for this team, and then he says to them, he says, "Aap sab aake mere ko mile, you need to meet me when you come." And these heroes are feeling, these young heroes are so excited, So I think this is a beautiful sporting culture. And I want to tell you also, Rajinder ji, I have nothing against cricket. I mean, how can I have anything against cricket? But the fact is, people are bored with cricket. And that's what we need to understand now. And I think Thomas Cup victory gives us a huge opportunity to retrace our steps vis-a-vis sport. Don't you think? Rajinder ji and Mir ji, please. Yeah, Rajinder ji.
Arnab, thank you. And I think it's a wonderful day for Indian Badminton Association, because when you win any tournament on the international circuit, definitely the country feels very proud of you, and I am one of those citizens who rarely feel proud. I remember when we had girls doing so well in the Olympics, and then we had the javelin throw winning the Gold Cup. I think the entire country was elated. But coming back to your question about cricket being the main sport, which is taking the majority of the advertisements and the revenues going towards the BCCI. Well, there's no fact, you can't deny that fact at all. But unfortunately, as I said quite some time back also, a lot depends upon the associations, how well they can sell the sport. Because in the end, when a corporate puts his money on any sport, he wants the return. And I hope and pray that badminton will bring that kind of money into the sport. And all these youngsters, the heroes who have done proud India, they will definitely get the endorsement they definitely need. Why only badminton? I think you have other sports like athletics, you have boxing, you have hockey is one sport I really feel bad about it, because that's been really sidelined. It should have been there in the middle. It should be there higher up, but unfortunately, everything depends upon the performance of the team. But comparing IPL with Thomas Cup, I think is rather unfair. If you have to compare IPL, I think it would be better off comparing with one of the tamashas happening in the United States or somewhere in Pakistan. I don't think so it's of any value to cricket, to be honestly.
Well,
it is value for money. I think more people go for entertainment. You go to a theater to watch a movie, spend 2.5 hours, spend about 500 rupees to watch that movie. I think it's equivalent to that. It's not going to bring any heroes as such. Heroes come when you represent the country.
Wow.
Those who represent the country are the real heroes. And I think we should all try and help them with endorsement.
Yeah. Can I add my 2 bits on this before I see Mir Ranjan Negi really nodding his head, and I would go one step further to say that at the stage of development that India is, Mr. Amarnath, as a nation, we need to refocus all our sport towards national achievement and national glory. So all the investment, I'm sure you'll all agree with me, all the investment, every single rupee that we put in sport, and every corporate and every television group and every advertiser, the money they put in sport must be aimed at bringing greater and greater pride to the tricolor. And if it is not, if it is a couple of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 crore rupees people spend in IPL, and it does nothing for India, but it takes the India name, you see, Mr. Negi. And I will say it clearly, it takes the name away, it takes the money away from the others. How many Dahiyas, how many Neeraj Chopras, how many PV Sindhus, and in fact, how many Sajan Prakashes would we have if 1/10 that money came to them? And we said today I heard a commentary by someone, I don't know whether it was Harpal, someone came on and he said on Republic, he said, you see, many of our players playing badminton are getting a lot of international exposure, they're traveling a lot now. But that's recent. What if we gave them 10 times that exposure? Not just them, swimmers and others. What do you think? Hockey players, Mr. Negi, you want to come in? And that's why I'm drawing the comparison. Mr. Negi.
Absolutely. Arnab, the Indian shuttlers, especially the men, they did not perform. They could not perform to the expectations of the country in the Tokyo Olympics. And in Thomas Cup, they redeemed themselves. They redeemed themselves. What a fight back.
Absolutely.
Against Indonesia team, so many times champion. And our heart fills with pride. If I'm not against cricket, but you won't believe I have not seen a single IPL match. I'm not against cricket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my heart bleeds for my country.
Yeah.
And when I see so much of money being pumped and it's thrown in a way. And I don't know what to say. My sportsmen all around still struggling, really struggling. And I'm again and again advocating that as a sports promoter, I find it difficult to persuade my students to come back on the field. Everybody, everywhere, some tamasha is going on. I'm not against cricket. They're very good, very powerful administration, very nicely organized. But if everyone wants to go for IT, who will go in the army, you tell me? Who will go? Nobody will go. Somebody has to take the responsibility to build your nation. Whenever the Olympics come, whenever the World Cup is there, then you expect your players to win gold medal. And you don't do anything for them. This is very, very sad, very, very sad.
Yeah, and who, anyway, I mean, you know, the people don't like it when I say it, Harpalji, but who plays cricket anymore? We are all very excited about BCCI. Who plays cricket? It's a British game using colonial symbols. It is a colonial sport and introduced by the East India Company. Who plays cricket? We're getting so excited about cricket. Who plays cricket?
Give me right to say, like next month or next week, BCCI is going to have media rights about IPL. Whatever you may say, whatever all the fans, the 35% viewership gone down. You know the amount they are going to get on the media rights, not IPL television. Media rights they are going to get is virtually a budget of a small country, and people are winning. Now IPL is equivalent to EPL. It is not a joke. It is an important game, whether you like it or not. Now, about as far as this badminton victory is concerned, it's a huge victory for India. It is a belief of Indian individual players. Nothing, government has nothing to do with it. Federation has nothing to do. It is a single individual players who started winning against. They have started having self-belief. 80s or 90s. Otherwise, I have been covering sports for 40 years, and when we used to win one match in a badminton, which is a history has been created with one victory. Now here people have started winning. It was Vishwanathan Anand who won first world championship and then chess, and then people started that they can win. Otherwise, we used to suffer inferiority complex. That why? How can we play against any Goda or any Southeast Asian? Now we are starting. It is a greatness of our own individual.
Morad, what are you saying, sir?
Let me tell you.
Morad is coming in, sir. What you're saying is controversial. Morad wants to counter you. This is one minute.
Morad will. No, listen to me.
I just want to say,
self-belief of an Indian, self-belief of an Indian to that win. That is it. What Abhinav Bindra got in 2008 or what Rathore got in 2004. It is self-belief of individual now that we can go and participate. Otherwise, before that,
let me, Mr. Bedi, I just want to. Mr. Bedi, we are on national television. I just want to correct one perception which you have expressed just now, that government has got nothing to do with it. Let me tell you, for everyone, whether it was Abhinav Bindra, whether it was Rathore, whether it is the current team, everybody is getting funded by the government.
Agreed. Don't take my statement.
By the government, everybody gets funded. So please don't undermine. Please don't undermine the contribution the government is making for development of the sports. It was because of government. It is because of government that the sports is existing in this country today, not because of private sponsors.
I am not undermining, man. I am not undermining.
I represented the country for 14 years. I know how much private sponsorship comes in.
I am not undermining them, but at least give a credit to. I am not. Government has given the money. Government is infrastructure is here. Government gave. I said this is self-belief of an individual also. Previously, money used to. Why you used to lose earlier also?
Mr. Bedi,
why now government?
Mr. Bedi, I am just talking about finances. It is the government which finances every trip of the country, of the sportspersons abroad for every competition. It is not that any private individual is doing it. And each individual, even who is financed by the government, has a big story to tell. Mr. Bedi, please listen to me, then you can counter me. Please listen to me, then you can counter me.
I think Mr. Bedi, I think Mr. Bedi, let me tell you, Mr. Bedi, I don't want to put this guilt trip. Now you're saying, Arnab, you may say what you want, but next month or 2 months later, when the media rights for IPL are sold, there will be this many thousand crore and this many thousand crore and this many thousand crore. But I want to tell you, Mr. Bedi, that proves nothing. It's like saying that Netflix put a lot of money into making a movie. But at the end of the day, you must understand, Kashmir Files did not cost it as much, but people watched it. Okay. Now, all these Salman Khan films which are made, and you used to say, what you meant when we spent 100 crore and 200 crore and 300 crore and 1,000 crore, so it must be good, but nobody is watching it. So, what I'm saying is, I don't want to put you on a guilt trip, but I'll tell you, 50,000 rupees per month for hockey players, Mr. Negi, 7 crore for cricketers, those who are in the A+ grade. I hold the sponsors responsible. You ask Simon Sharif, I would like to hear from Sajan Prakash what they think about it. How difficult it is to get international glory as a shooter, as a swimmer. What sacrifice it takes, and I hold the people responsible, including the people who are funding cricket. I'd like Simon to come in, Shimon to come in first. Sorry, Shimon. Shimon Sharif, please.
It is not a crowd
Mr. Sharif.
attacking sport, my dear. It is not a crowd attacking sport.
Yes, Mr. Sharif.
Money will come only when the crowd comes.
No, I'm not anti-cricket. I'm just saying that.
You mentioned two words.
Yeah, Mr. Sharif.
Anger and passion.
Let's not have an anti-cricket campaign here.
I'm not anti-cricket campaigning. I'm saying see the writing on the wall. Yeah.
I agree with you. But the question is, sponsors will come and they get money back. Not if somebody
this money talk is also boring, I think this money talk, we got 1,000 crore, 2,000 crore. I mean, what are they? What are these cricketers also? They are more interested in all this, and that's why look at their game. They're all distracted. They're distracted. Shimon.
In your opening remarks, you had mentioned.
Yeah. Mr. Sharif.
Yeah, Arnab, in your opening remarks, you had mentioned two words, hunger and passion. So that goes very well for Olympians, but unfortunately, those two words don't go at all with cricket. Cricket is only drama, controversies, and money.
Oh, come on, don't do this. No, I don't agree.
Let him complete. Right. Let him complete. Let Mr. Sharif complete, please. Thank you. Let him complete. Yes.
Yeah, so according to me, it's my personal opinion, cricket is not at all a global sport. The one time it was played at the Olympics was in 1900, when only 2 countries participated. One was the host, France, and another one was the Great Britain. And it has never been a part of the Olympics just because of the participation level it enjoys. It's just played by what, 6, 8 countries at the most, or probably 10. That's not the level of participation if you talk about sports like badminton, shooting, where more than 200 countries participate. So, but Arnab, I'm very happy when India's most popular anchor and the most watched TV show dedicates airtime to celebrate a victory of Thomas Cup. It shows that times are changing.
Well, I thank you for that. I've been doing it for a long time. People think I'm anti-cricket. I just find it very upsetting, upsetting today. Mr. Sharif, I'm not anti-cricket, but I know that I just want to know about, talk about other sport, and God knows we've done well in them. And Mr. Sharif, I'm not giving names here, but in my school and college, many of my friends, they did sport, they were passionate on it. And I've seen how their passion has died because of the lack of opportunities. And in their early 20s, they had to give up their games. And I know what it takes to build whether it's a Murad Ali Khan or someone to build a Arjuna awardee, it takes a lot of effort. It's not easy. And I hate the money talk.
Absolutely.
I hate the money.
Let me also add,
No. How can you hate?
Arnab, let me also quickly add that
Arnab, one thing is there. All sports in world, all over the world, it is money. You talk about Ronaldo, it is money.
This is so sorry. I'm so sorry that this has become our mindset in India, you know.
Anybody. And forget about India.
I can't believe you're saying this, Mr. Harpal Singh Bedi. You're a journalist. I'm sorry.
I know.
I am hearing here sports is about money,
you can't build
money.
sport on money.
It's glory, not money. Glory.
No, you can never build sport on money.
Money follows glory.
Okay, come on. Go and play in EPL. It is money. Go in Wimbledon. It is money. Go in French Open. It is money. Go in Olympics. It's money. Where is Thomas Cup? It is money. Everywhere. You have to have money. My friend, you can't live on empty stomach.
Okay, I'll get Hemant. Who wants to come into this? Hemant wants to say something. Yeah.
Just a small point. All the people, luminaries who are here today. I started playing as a cricketer with the House of Tatas. Now, when I started playing cricket at the House of Tatas in the afternoon, when we used to go in the Bombay House area where the Tata Sports Club was, we used to find people like Wilson Jones, Michael Ferreira there, and people like Babu Narayan and all watching. So understand one thing, that whole concept, and what is Tata's doing today? They had footballers, they had the archery academy, they had mountaineering academy. JRD himself used to be very fond of weightlifting and bodybuilding, and cricket and football and hockey and other sports. And international sports persons were employed. What is Tata's doing today? Not a single international current sports person is employed by the Tatas, but they're sponsoring the IPL.
They're sponsoring wrestling.
Very poignant.
Wrestling championship. No. Their sponsors are wrestling team. Please, wrestling team. Wrestling. Tata are sponsoring wrestling.
Employing.
Okay, Rajinder Amarnath is coming in right now. Rajinder.
Arnab.
Yeah.
When you're talking about passion and glory, I think there are two sides of the same coin. Unless and until you have passion, you will never get glory. Whichever sport you are playing, you'll have to really work hard to reach the goal whichever you have set. And here we are comparing a sport which is not the national sport. IPL is not a national tournament. It's not Ranji Trophy, or it's not a bilateral series played between different countries. It is simply a private tournament which is run by about 10, 12 franchises along with the BCCI. And it's probably the longest tournament being played anywhere, wherever you go, which has been watched by millions and millions of people, not only in India, but around the world. We may say that cricket is played by only few countries, but if you look at the number of people who watch cricket, is far more than any other sport. Maybe if you're talking about Wimbledon only, that is when Wimbledon is played.
We can't take that for granted, Rajinder. Rajinder, we can't take that for granted, because I'll tell you, fewer and fewer are watching right now.
I'm not saying you take them for granted, but the fact remains, when you're talking about money part, the money comes from where? Money comes from sponsorship. And these are the corporates who go and line up outside the BCCI office.
You see in the future, Mr. Amarnath, with the way things are changing, you see corporates will also put their money in where they feel they will get a return. Please don't presume. No. What will happen now? No. They look for a return on investment. Let me tell you, the corporates. If you think the corporates are doing it for the love of sport, they're not. They are also doing it for money.
Said it yourself. And only selling the product.
No. Let me predict something. Let me predict something.
I don't have to say it.
Let me predict something. The corporates will ask, what is more inspiring, IPL or HS Prannoy breaking the Danish jinx? The corporates will also ask, what is more exciting, the IPL or the absolute team effort of the Thomas Cup?
About private tournaments. Most of the tournaments around the world are private. If you look at the Wimbledon, it's a private tournament.
Yeah, WWF is also a private tournament.
You look at
WWF is also a private tournament.
They're all private.
I'd like to come in here.
Yeah, but it's not sport.
Money, nobody's going to come.
Yeah, I mean, if you think
when you play these tournaments around the world.
Mr. Amarnath, let me tell you, Khalli is not a global level sporting icon.
Can I come in,
I'm not
please?
talking about Khali or anybody else.
Arnab,
I'm just sticking to my own game, which I know very well.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
cricket.
I'd like to come in.
So the sports which are
who's coming in?
please?
Okay.
I'd like to come in, please.
Gaurav's coming in and Sajan will respond.
I also know very well.
I think we are talking about the IPL and the relevance about the IPL here and the commercial angle to it. One has to experience it, turn on the TV, start watching IPL. You will realize the new ball has a sponsor. It is sponsored by Tata. It is called the Tata new ball. The first 6 overs have a sponsor. That sponsor is rammed into your head repeatedly, right? If you thought that was bad enough, earlier a sixer had a sponsor. Now a boundary, that is 4 runs, have a sponsor.
Very
These
good.
sponsors
So
are
what is all
called
this
out
being?
repeatedly.
Okay, so
repeatedly.
Gaurav, I got the point, but can you tell me, these points that you're making about the ball having a sponsor, I mean, tomorrow you will say that the air we breathe around the IPL game has a sponsor, the oxygen has a sponsor, the carbon dioxide has a sponsor, everything has a sponsor, that's fine. But what's the point you're making? That because there's a sponsor, there's a justification. People in this country, people are watching tonight. There isn't. And I'd say, Gaurav, what's happening is there's a bit of arrogance that's seeping in. We got a sponsor. You don't have a sponsor.
Totally. It is
We're A plus, you're B plus, somebody else is C. That arrogance is bad.
Coming generation. And here it's not about hating cricket, but I just wish, all the sports people in the country get equal respect, because my mother had to spend her whole career, she was an athlete, whole salary out of everything to just give me the basic facilities. And going towards that, now the government is giving them the facilities, but still I have Go Sports who are helping me, but we are still lacking so much behind the world standard. Why is that we are not getting the support what the other world champions are getting? So I just wish, it's a great model IPL or the cricket is showing, but I just wish 20% of that is shown in the other sports, the interest to the other sports is given.
Yeah, absolutely. And this point, Harpal has gone down very badly. A lot of our viewers complaining about what you said there. Sports is money. What is this money talk? What is this money talk? Why are you doing this, Harpal?
I want to tell you one thing.
Yeah, tell me.
All the players, this individual brilliance, we should appreciate. What we achieved today was a huge success of individual players who have come out, who are now have a self-belief. Second part, which is most important, whether you like it or not, wait as you are predicting. I also predict. Wait for October when the T20 World Cup will start. Half of India will go mad. And not only that, see the sponsors. Now, if the sponsors are going, what can you do? No, sponsors are not interested in swimming. Sponsors are interested in shooting. Shooting is not a crowd-putting sport. Sponsors are interested in tennis. Tennis players are getting their sponsors. The sponsors are interested in golf.
Mr. Bedi.
Yeah.
Mr. Bedi, on one side you are saying shooting is not a crowd-pulling sport. In the same breath you say that it is about money. Then what is shooting about? It's about getting that glory or getting that Indian flag to when you win in a foreign land. There's nothing about money there.
Oh, my friend, Murad, you understand.
There's nothing about money there.
Glory in 2004, 2008, we have been getting glories. That is not a question. Here you are talking money, let us be very frank, money makes mayor go. That is it, whether you like it or not.
Mr. Bedi, we even got glory yesterday in Deaf Olympics.
Whether you cannot live on an empty stomach. Everybody taking it. No, it is up to
Come on. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you today. I don't know, Mr. Bedi, what's wrong with you. Money is not the ultimate thing for every sports person. Money is not the means, so money is not the thing for which the person.
Gaurav is also coming in. I think Harpal ji in defending cricket has overdone it a little bit today, and is getting cricket also into more trouble. One sec. Harpal, you're going on completely. But I have to come on. Gaurav and Bimal Soni on the left, and I'll get Murad and Mr. Sharif also to. I'll let Mr. Negi to come in on the debate. So I feel sport is about the effort an individual or team puts in to the game. It's about grit and glory. It's not about money. And sports is about passionately scoring that point, hitting the mark, scoring a goal. It's not about money being thrown in for the atmospherics, getting Ranveer to dance at and A.R. Rahman to sing a song. You got it all wrong. You understand? You got it all wrong. And Bimal Soni, are you going to course correct this drama?
Can I speak now, please?
Yeah,
what
please.
I have to say is, cricket has achieved what it is today because it has been better organized. BCCI has put in a lot of effort over the years, over 50 years. So cricket, fanatism has come in the new generation because they have seen cricket well organized. Had we kept hockey that level, had we organized other sports at that level,
why do you want to blame the hockey?
True. I am telling you, cricket fanatism has come in this country because it was well organized.
Mr. Negi.
And in last so many years, after that, the way IPL has been brought in, we can bring this kind of Premier League in different
Mr.
sports.
Sharif and Mr. Negi.
It has to be organized. And the sponsors
Yeah, it will be organized.
The crowd comes.
I think
Yeah, Mr.
I think BCCI played it.
Yeah, Mr. Sharif.
No, I don't. Yeah, so I think what cricket did was they put in a lot of glamour and they tried to fool the Indians by using all these Bollywood stars and cheerleaders and putting in extra glamour and a lot of money. They've tried to cheat the Indian audience.
Bimal!
They tried to pose it as the only sport for the Indians. But now things are changing. Now things are changing. Indians are making note. Now Indians know what actual global sports are. What are Olympic sports about.
The way they have been playing, Mr. Sharif, the way these IPL guys have been doing. Tomorrow I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Sharif. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, Mr. Soni. You are not going to like what I say. Mr. Soni, you are not going to like what I say, but I'll tell you. Don't be surprised, Mr. Sharif. Tomorrow, these IPL guys, they can even make Ranveer or some Anil Kapoor play in a game also, if they have to desperately improve the ratings. They will do anything. There is nothing left.
Can I come in?
They will make them play in a game also. They'll do a movie endorsement and say, listen, your star will be allowed to play the first ball and your villain will be allowed to play the last ball. Mr. Ramannath, I'm telling you, they will do it. They will do it.
They just come in. It's not a bad idea.
No.
To the BCCI. I'm really very happy to give something to BCCI. They can really do something like this because after all, this is a tamasha cricket.
Yeah.
And everybody knows this is not a serious cricket. So let's not be very serious about this cricket. We are not going to win World Cup by winning the IPL out here. We're simply there to entertain. And entertain means they can add anything. As you said, they may have some heroine probably coming and tossing and throwing the first ball to Virat Kohli to hit a six, or probably pick up a wicket or something like that.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Cricket, I think cricket has changed a lot.
What is happening today in the IPL? I'd like to put in the point about...
Okay, I started off a conversation, but I hope at least in those circumstances, Virat will score a few runs. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on that interesting conversation. And on the other side, a lot of things have been said about the Gyanvapi mosque and the Gyanvapi controversy. And I feel Mr. Owaisi is uttering a litany of falsehoods. And I will tell you on the other side, 8 of the falsehoods of Mr. Owaisi when I come back.